Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
I'm Lane.
And we're here with Tim's Nation to bring you the second round of our Warhammer tournament here on Tim's Nation, featuring the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Votan. Welcome back as always, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Turn the bell and get notified on all the content we bring you here on the channel. And I do want to move into this and try and work on our speed of getting into these games. So today, as we said, we're running a little tournament with all of our factions. Both of us have selected 4 factions to face off. Last week was Grey Knights versus who'd you play?
I don't know. What did I play?
Custodes.
I
actually
totally
forgot.
blanked.
Wow, I did.
No,
Yes,
that's how
Grey
well it
Knights
went.
versus Custodes, silver versus gold, and as I say, silver greater than gold. As they did prevail, Grey Knights will be moving on to the next round. So today is our second round, where the not Custodes. Wow. It's now, see, I can't remember Custodes. Now I got the Custodes. Admech versus Votan. We've done this matchup before, but now it means something.
It means something.
It's
for real now.
It's for real. This is for keeps. If you ain't first, you're last. All right. So, as I said, I want to jump over into it. So, Lane, let's talk about the Votan that you're bringing here today.
All right, today's Leagues of Votan list. We have 2 Einherjar champions, one of which does have the Grim Demeanor enhancement. I've got a 10-man squad of Hearthkin warriors. We have 4 Sagittars with the high-las beam cans, 2 5-man squads of Chthonian Berserks with the plasma axes. I have 3 squads of Einherjar Hearthguard, 1 10-man, 2 5-mans. They are all equipped today with the plasmas and the concussion gauntlets. So it's not exactly WYSIWYG, all plasma, all concussion gauntlets, and all 20 of them. We've got 2 Hecaton land fortresses with the SP conversion beamers. That's it. DJ, what are you bringing?
All right, so I'm bringing back the Cybernetic cohort. Made a couple of changes here to make it not quite as easy on the fixed secondaries. And here's what we got. So I have the 3 squads of robots, 2 4-mans and a 2-man. We got 3 guns in one squad, 3 fists in the other, and then opposite weapons. Then we got 3 squads of Rangers, fully kitted out, 10-mans. We have 2 3-man squads of Breachers, 2 3-man squads of Destroyers with Galvanic, or what is it, the Plasma Culverin. 2 5-man squads of Infiltrators, and on the character side of things, we have 3 Data Smiths, and then 2 Engine Seers. So as I said previously with this list, this is the first time I'm running this version of it. But in previous versions, I gave up way too much on secondaries. I'm still giving up the 20 if that's the route you decide to go. I know you got a little bit of time. Think about it while we're getting all set up in that. But now we're at a flat 20. So if I can stop you, if I can push back and I can keep a couple robots alive till the end, or keep characters alive, then I'm at least preventing you from getting max points. You table me, you're getting maximum points. So it is still a risk. It is still, you have a gun army, you have a damage-based army, so might be something you consider.
Yeah, no. The free armor and content you get, it can be very disappointing when you shoot at a bunch of robots that have 2 up armor and they get armor content for free and they're in cover. Yeah, no thanks.
Very nice. All right, well, there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is to determine who will be deploying and doing all that jazz. So I won the last matchup, so Lane, odd or even?
Even.
And it is odd. So Lane, you will be deploying first, and we'll be back after deployments. All right, we are deployed. Lane, why don't you talk to us about what we are doing today?
We are playing Warhammer 40,000. Our mission rules today, we have deployment of Crucible of Battle. This is the pizza slices? I don't know. Kind of crooked hammer and anvil. Our mission rule today is sweep and clear. Everything is sticky. Gross. Everything has the sticky objective rule, so anytime you hold an objective through your command phase, after you leave it, you still control it until the opponent gets on it. And then our mission today is Vital Ground. So in this one, we remove the center objective, and then for scoring, each objective in no man's land scores us 5 points. Our deployment zone objective only scores us 2 points, and if we manage to take the opponent's objective marker, it scores us 6 points.
Yeah, not a lot of reward for getting all the way to your opponent's deployment zone in their objective.
No.
But then again, there is only 2 objectives you can score on really well, considering what's the home field one again?
2.
2. Big 2 points. All right. As for deployment, so I have them all on table, and I do have some scout moves, which is pretty nice, pretty crazy. So, I don't even know how to explain it. just kind of started just putting stuff down and trying to draw firing lanes. So I put the destroyers back here early in my deployment, and then Lane kind of didn't really put anything over there. The robots were late into it because I know that he does have Hearthguard that can deep strike. He also does have a scout move, so I still want to threaten this area with my punchy robots. And then everything else is kind of over here. We got breachers behind the wall, breachers in front of the wall, the rangers hanging out over here to be able to provide their battle line buff. The rangers have a scout move as well, so I'll be able to get them in a little bit safer positions. And they are probably lower on the priority list for when Lane starts shooting. So there's that. We got an engine seer back here, 3 inches from both robot squads, so you can heal whichever one gets hit if need be. One of the 2-man robot squads here, hanging out in the window, shooting out safely. And then we have an engine seer that we're dedicating just to these guys to be able to heal them and keep them up and running since they are off by themselves. Those squad destroyers back here, they can move up in the building and start shooting when the time is needed. And then, yeah, that's about it. Oh, and then some infiltrators up there ready to roll. Same with the ones over there. Both ready to hit those objectives if need be, or other secondaries as the game sees fit. Lane, your turn.
All right, here we are. It doesn't look like a whole lot because everything's in transports, and we do have a 10-man brick of Hearthguard and Deep Strike, but all the Sagittars are out on the table with their representative models sitting on top of them of who's embarked in there. The Sagittars all get a 6-inch scout move, so I can reposition them if need be, and then the Hackathons are just there ready to go, ready to roll up and do some damage.
Awesome. So in this circumstance, would you like to go first or second?
I don't know. Maybe first. Maybe I'd like to go first today.
Yeah, see, I would like to go first because I don't really like the initial positioning that I'm set up in. But I can also handle going second just because, you know, being able to play this mission late in the game, I wouldn't mind to be able to score those last turn points.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's let the dice decide.
Let's do it again. You know, you didn't roll a 6.
I was thinking the same
First
thing.
time like a month that you didn't roll a 6. Here we go. I spoke too soon.
Looks like I'm going first, and I rolled a 6. Lane, how did that make it?
I don't know. It's typical. It's what should I shouldn't expect anything else, I suppose.
All right, so we got some scout moves, and then we'll come back and talk about those before we jump over into Admech turn 1. All right, so real quick after the scout moves, Lane's was more of a defensive posture. You know, not wanting to put Sagittar right out in front of destroyers or anything. Not that I'm saying that I'd blow them up, but hey, no reason to take unnecessary damage. So his Sagittar just kind of went back, keeping him safe. I might be able to draw some lines and some weird angles, but it's going to minimize how much is, if anything, able to see him. For me, I did move this one squad of Rangers up, and then this other squad, they are on top. That is actually an accurate positioning of where they are to be able to start putting some heat on the Hecaton. Probably not a hecaton of heat, but we'll get started. And then the other squad moved up here, and then during my turn, I'm going to start to probably just move them in there a little safer position. So, all right, that's it. On to Admech turn 1. So we're looking at Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land. Which one of those do you think I have the capability of scoring? So we wiggled up the infiltrators, the ones over here, and then we chained them back. So I only got 2 out there, and then the rest back here. So if Lane starts shooting at them, then I can pull those guys, losing the objective, yes, but then I'm really back here and pulling them into where the robots are, which I'm more than happy for those berserkers to come run into my robots. Over here, we just moved the breachers to get them in position to be able to counter the Hacatons. There was no real place for me to get them out there to start doing damage, so they're just going to stay and be safe until next turn. Over here, same story. Infiltrator just went up to tag the objective with the other 4 members of the squad staying behind the building and out of line of sight. So if we get shot at, we'll pull that model first. These Rangers stayed put, and these Rangers stayed put. So because of Doctrina, they will get the heavy boost to their weapons to be able to get +1 to hit when shooting at that Hecaton. Same with these robots over here. Not the not moving part, but they will going to shoot at that Hecaton. And so will these destroyers. I don't think I have enough damage over there. I'm going to have to get extremely lucky to be able to pick up that Hecaton. But hey, crazier things have happened. All right, that's about it. Let's do some shooting. All right, as expected, didn't really do much to the Hecaton. So we shot. We shot both squads of Rangers, which had not moved thanks to their scout move. and they successfully did probably like 1 wound in total combined. Robots as well, you know, just the guns are not strong enough to really hurt vehicles. They did probably 1 wound combined. And the destroyers over here. So I opted to not overcharge because after I shot with the other units and realized there was no way they were going to destroy it, I was just like, yeah, let's not blow up our own guys. Let's make Lane have to do it. So in the end of it all, I know I said 1 and 1. We did get the Hecaton down to 12 wounds. So we did a total of 4 damage to it, which isn't very much right now, but you know, it isn't very much right now or at any point in the game, I guess. But hey, it's 4 less damage that it has at the moment, and Lane does not have any way to heal in this list, so that damage sticks. All right, we get 5 for secure no man's land, and then we pitch bring it down for a command point, and we're going to pass it over to the Votan.
So I pulled no prisoners and cleanse. Scooch these guys up here, and Hearthkin got out so they can cleanse and then probably immediately die. And Hecaton just pushed forward. We pushed this Hecaton forward and got these Hearthguard out. The Berserks jumped out here, but got overwatched by the Destroyers. Lost 2 of them, so just a little bit of damage there. And then we just moved up so we can do some shooting down here. Going to try and pick up, well, at least a couple squads to get some no prisoners points. Maybe put some damage on these dirty robots, and we'll see what happens. All right, so we did a little bit of shooting. Nothing that was too spectacular here. We did pick up the infiltrators and the rangers that were here, so we did get 2 kills for no prisoners. Did some work into these robots, but not enough to actually make a difference. Got one of the robots down to 1. DJ definitely made use of the feel no pain that they had gotten, and so they survived.
The single robot that got a feel no pain. 1 robot.
Yeah, well, that was enough. I mean, I did some shooting from a couple different sources. Wasn't enough to pick up one of them, so he'll get healed back up a little bit. But like I said, we did get our 2 kills. Both of them had judgment tokens, so it was we're gonna get our bonus 3 CP in my next command phase, and that's about it. So the Berserks here did the cleansing. The Hearthkin here did the cleansing. So we got 5 for cleanse, 4 for no prisoners. 9 points is a solid first turn, but we'll see how hard DJ hits me back here on his turn.
For this turn, we got tempting target and engage on all fronts. So I'll be able to get a couple points on engage, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get the tempting target, which is right over here, because the Hecaton. Now, I spent a command point to use a strat in my command phase that allows me to get 3 up ballistic skill versus a unit on objective marker. We selected these guys. And the unit that will be getting the 3 up ballistic skill has to be a vehicle or Legio Cybernetica. So it's the robots. So I don't really think I'm going to be able to, because I just don't have the damage over here yet to pick up this Hecaton and just keep working it down. It's got 11 wounds, so we'll just try to keep working on it and see if we can't work it down. But I need to remove all this stuff over here, because if I can take out the infantry, then there's a lot left. I got to take out the infantry, especially now that I know where the big Hearthguard brick is, which we'll get to in a second. So we are still in the heavy Doctrina. So they sat still. They sat still. They sat still, so they'll be getting 2s to hit, actually. They moved. And they moved back to cover that deep strike spot because I didn't want Lane dropping in the backfield, which is not where he went. Both of the breachers moved up. We're going to be able to get 5 of the breachers to shoot at this Hecaton. So now this Hecaton is in trouble, because not only do we have the breachers, the robots are coming up here, ready to come a whooping and a walloping and rushing in there. And yeah, speaking of those Hearthguard, though, this is where the big 10-man brick went, right safely behind the wall where I can't shoot them,
rapid ingress,
and can't charge them. Yes, on the rapid ingress. Over here, we didn't play too heavy on this objective marker. I'm just going to charge and try and take these guys out, mostly just finish off a Hearthguard and take them out of there. I'll probably lose the infiltrators in the process. The Berserks most likely will just get out and beat them up, and we'll have to deal with that later on. But I'm looking at I'm looking at trying to do a little more damage. So I'm hopefully, right now, in my mind, I'm playing for the late game for points. and going to try hopefully to score late. So, all right, let's see what we can do for the damage part right now. Not quite what I was hoping for. As you can notice, both Hecatons are still alive. I was not expecting to take this one out. He's at 9 wounds. Was expecting to do a little more to this one. He's at 10. But we still have a charge and fight phase where we're going to be bringing in some big bots. Initially, I thought about charging in over here to pick up the Berserks, and I still may do it. I've got to think about that. I might bring the Breachers in over there. But yeah, so the Hearthguard that were in front, dropped them down to just the E-Champ, laying Void Armored, and was able to take out a bunch of them, and also took out one of my guys, which earned themselves a Judgment token. Oh, from the combination of the Destroyers, some of the Rangers, the Robots, and these Destroyers. So they were tough. They were very, very tough. Was not quite able to do it. And then again, the Hecaton we just whipped. Hecaton, we had tons of hits, and we had like 8 hits and then 2 wounds on the 50% for the 4-up. So that is about it. Let's just do some charges and see how this turn finishes. Okay, so we charged in over here after shooting, and we're able to finish off the Hearthguard and then tag the Sagittar. Sagittar did not like that and poked one of my little dudes. Over here in the middle, we tank shocked with the might of 1,000 suns, and then punched a hole in the Hecaton. And that hole we punched in the Hecaton, well, he punched back, doing 6 mortal wounds. Luckily, the Feel No Pain was there for me. How many mortal wounds? Then if you did 6 mortal wounds to me, exploding, how many mortal wounds do you think Lane did to his own Hearthguard?
1. We did 1 mortal wound. It does D6 mortal wounds because it's over 15 wounds in the Hecaton. I rolled 1 on my guys and 6 on DJ's.
Yes, so good thing I had the Feel No Pain, but uh-oh. And then over here, we finished off 2 of the Berserks and left 1 alive. Lane really wanted me to kill him just to get the Judgment token. And they came back and struck, and I saved. So no damage to me. A little bit of damage over here. We're not able to take the objective, though, for tempting targets, because I'm only OC1. And that Hecachunk is OC5. So that wasn't going to happen. So we did get engaged for 3 points. And like I said, we're going to try and score in the late game. We're trying to do some damage and push back. If Lane hits us too hard and we lose too many resources, then yeah, his early gambit will win him the game. But that's going to be it for the Admech turn. Kicking it over to the Votan.
I have pulled Tempting Target and engage in all fronts. DJ decided to tempt me over here.
I just made him have to do something.
Yeah, so the Berserks got out, and they're going to run around and swarm those guys. We shall tempt that target. And then
the other option was an objective marker you already had.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And engage in all fronts. We'll engage on 3 fronts anyways. So we just kind of move forward here.
Engage on most fronts?
Some fronts will be engaged. And move these guys up here. We're going to try and put a few shots from this Sagittar and this Sagittar into these breachers here. These guys are going to be shooting everything into here. These guys are going to be shooting everything into here. Charging into here, fighting in here. We're going to try to make these robots go away.
These guys are going to be bouncing mortal wounds back into here.
Yeah, sure. They'll be doing that. And then the Hecaton didn't move. I didn't want my E-Champ to get overwatched by these guys because they do have flamers and hit it with 5s on their other guns. So I didn't want to lose the E-Champ to a cheeky overwatch, so I just stayed right there. We're going to do some shooting. We'll see what happens. Shooting was not too bad, guys. We picked up, one of these robots? Good news there. We picked up the 3 breachers here.
On accident. That was like, yeah, I'll just throw stuff at them, and they just didn't want to live.
Well, it's the casino guns, the high-last beam cannons on these things. I rolled a couple 6s, which meant I got 5 hits out of 2 shots, and at the strength 10, it was enough to get through and pick them up. We did pick up these 2 destroyers, picked up a couple of these guys. Still haven't been able to kill one of these damn robots yet. DJ keeps spiking the Feel No Pains on those. But now it's time to do some charging. So we're going to charge into these guys here, charge into these guys here, charge into these guys here, and see what happens. Oh boy, the Votan were very angry this turn and were able to just bonk, bonk, bonk. So I started here with the E-Champ. He picked up 2 of the last breachers there. And DJ did interrupt over here and picked up a couple of these Hearthguard. I did Void Armor thanks to all my extra CP from killing one of my Judgment Token things turn 1. I was able to Void Armor with extra CP, and he only killed 2 of them. Went back over here, finished off these guys. Berserks finished off the Infiltrators. And then I spent 1 CP to increase my AP by 2 because he had 2 Judgment Tokens and finished off the robots, although the Datasmith is still alive. That's the way we can pull Assassinate next turn, hopefully, and pick up a Datasmith. So very productive turn in terms of damage. And tempting target, score 5 points, engage in all fronts. I've got 1, 2, 3 quarters, so do score well there. On to DJ's turn.
So we're looking at behind enemy lines and extend battle lines. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything over here to grab extend battle lines, and there's no center objective. So we're going to continue the damage point of this show. We're kind of crossing into that late game territory where I wanted to start scoring some points, and not exactly happening the way I was hoping. So we're, if you're not going to win, and if you feel like you're going to lose, just blow stuff up. So that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and get lucky with some dice and blow some stuff up. So we move the destroyers in position to be able to shoot over here. This Hecaton is still sitting at 9 wounds. We got Rangers with an arc rifle. We got a single E-Champ hanging out by himself. And we got these Hearthguard on the objective. So we got some stuff to hit. Over here, our Rangers are getting brave. They're getting real brave.
This might not go well for them.
Shh. They don't know that. So they're going to shoot over here. But what they also don't know is these robots back here lined up in position. And they're also going to go downtown. So we'll see. We got some shooting to do. Lane's going to have to make some decisions on where he wants to void armor because he can't void armor everywhere. And we'll see what we do. Well, look at us doing stuff. A lot of things got cleared out of here. Let's talk about this. So right in here, these Rangers, they actually did some shooting, and their special weapons actually were able to pick up like 3 of these guys, 2 or 3, maybe even 4.
I think the robots did a little.
Robots did a lot of work back here. These robots back here, I mean, they hit really hard, ignoring cover. The void armor was popped over there and did help, but the robots did good work. So we got 3
guys left plus the character.
And there's 1 guy that's got damage on him. Mm-hmm. So that's a good position before we charge with the Rangers.
Okay.
And the entrances. And then over here, these robots, they did some work into the Hearthguard over here. Drop them down to 2. Right up here was the tail of the tape. Mr. Arc Rifle in the Rangers hit home, finally, into the Hecaton, doing quite a bit of damage, bringing them down to 5. Mm-hmm. And then the destroyers overcharged, didn't blow themselves up, and finished off the Hecaton. So all that's left is to do some charges and see if we can finish our mayhem. Couldn't buy a 6 here. Yeah, that's what we needed to win, at least. So we weren't able to finish off the last dude, and we lost a bunch of Rangers in the process. Surprised no one. Then over here, I just spent the command point and tank shocked right into the last of the Hearthguard. I didn't want to risk it only having 1 fist in there and just ran them guys over. So we pitched behind extend battle lines because I don't feel myself getting over to the right side of the field. And we kept behind enemy lines. Maybe be able to push. All right, over to lane.
So we pulled area denial and capture enemy outpost. Going to try to deny in the area here by charging in and finishing these guys off. I just kind of squiggled these guys around because the sticky objectives this game is the special rule. I stickied this one, and the Berserks hopped in the Sagittar, and they're going for a little ride, a little adventure. And these Sagittars just kind of fell back here. Because these robots are inside the building here, we can see them and shoot them. We can shoot those robots. So we're just going to see if we can do a little bit of damage there. Just rolled the shooting and everything into 1 here. So managed to finish off the character that was here, the engine's here, that engine's here. Finished off the Rangers here.
Data Smith. That was a Data Smith.
Sure, right. He's gone. I don't know. I don't care. Plug some more shots down here. Failing to kill a robot. Got another robot down to 1. I hate that 5 upfield though, man. I don't like it at all. That's about it. Not a whole lot of shooting results here. But we did score area denial. So 5 points there. Capture enemy outpost. Not going to happen this turn, but maybe we'll hold on to it. Probably not. I'll probably discard it for a CP.
All right, so we still have behind enemy lines, and we also picked up defend stronghold. So we spent a command point to get the +3 move and +1 advance over here. We're going to get these robots to try and get in there and whooping a wall up and see if we can't just, we'll get into deployment zone, at least on the charge, and see if we can't start hurting these Sagittars and maybe shoot down some of this last little squad of Hearthguard here, because they are very threatening as long as they're still around. Yeah, there's Berserks in there, but they're a little bit slow because of no assault capability on the Sagittar, so at least that'll help a little bit. We also have these robots back here. They can choose to shoot at the Hearthguard or pick it on the Sagittar. I advanced the Destroyers, since I was not able to see anything, to start trying to get them to hopefully help protect the home field objective. And we are trying to play into cards I haven't seen. I haven't seen Investigate Signals or Capture Enemy Outpost yet. So that's why we're pushing forward here. And then we're in position with these Rangers back here in case we get Investigate Signals to try and score some points on that. All right, let's do some shooting. This table is getting very empty very quickly. So moving into the shooting phase, we came up here, we shot with these robots at the Hearthguard, and then put a couple shots into here, not thinking about the fact that Lane had a 2 CP strat to shoot back. He did, and was very successful in picking up 2 robots. The laser actually hit home real strong.
Yeah, I got a 6 on my one of my hits, so I ended up with 4 hits, and one of those robots was down to 1 wound. So we picked up that one and rolled 7 on the 2 other dice, and and perfectly picked up a second one. So lucky rolls there.
Yeah, lucky and unlucky. Very unfortunate series of events, or fortunate, depending on which side of the fence you're on with that. So now we're just going to do some charges and finish up the turn. So we successfully made a charge right here. Not onto this Sagittar, but the Sagittar that was over there. Tank shock for a bunch, and then punched it into oblivion. And then we hit him literally into oblivion, because then he decided to do more wounds. And we got over here into combat with this Sagittar, and he blinked me for another damage. Oh, silly tanks. All right. So that's going to be the turn. I'm going to get the 3 points for behind enemy lines, and I'll hold on to defend stronghold and pass it over to Lane.
So I pulled Bring It Down and Storm Hostile Objective. Just played through my whole turn, guys, because not a whole lot going on. We backed up the Sagittars to get eyes on these robots over here and shot a bunch. Killed them, both of them, and then finished off the character in the charge with both the E-Champ and the Berserks. So that's really it. Didn't storm any hostile objectives. We got 5 points for Bring It Down. That puts me over on this side of the table. DJ over on this side of the table. We'll see if he can do anything in his last turn.
Well, my prediction was right, but so much for the prediction. Capture enemy outpost and no prisoners were in my future. Didn't have anything there to capture enemy outposts, and unfortunately for no prisoners, we did put a lot of shooting downfield, where I chose to go into the assault doctrina, so I was able to advance and still shoot. Spent a command point on these guys to give them boost move. Wasn't enough. Wasn't enough to pick up the E-Champ, who void armored for fun, and it was fun for him. And wasn't able to pick up the Berserks or the E-Champ, so I'll get a 0 there. And I won't be able to capture enemy outpost. So that's going to be it for me. So we're going to hand this over to Lane so we can just clean up and rub salt in the wound.
So for my final turn, I pulled Investigate Signals and Assassinate. I wasn't really confident in Assassinate, so I spent the CP to discard that and picked up Secure No Man's Land. So these little kiddos investigated a signal. We controlled this one because of sticky objectives and this one. And so we got 3 points for Secure No Man's Land and 2 points for Investigate Signals. So that gives me another 5. I scored another 7 on primary. So total scores for the end of this game Low scoring game because of the primaries. This is a tough primary game, but the Leagues of Votan scored a 70 and the Admech a 42. Leagues of Votan 70, Admech 42. So tough game, tough primaries on this one. But follow us over to the post-game battle report. We'll talk about how everything went, and we'll see you over there. All right, bye.